Right, morning guys. It is Sunday the 5th of December and I've decided to come back to give Home Lake another winter session. Anyone who's seen the vlog last year had a fairly decent time of it on here. It is kind of their runs water here at Floatfish Farm, so it's this time of year when it's sort of 2-3 degrees outside. I don't want to be giving myself too much work for a day session, so I'm gonna come and hopefully get a bend in the rod and fish this lake for the day. I'm only to say it's literally just a day session, so I'm here until about 4:30ish when the light goes. It's just gone 7:30 now, so I've just paid up in the shop, and you can see there's a bit of wind coming down the lake, so I'm going to sit my favourite swim, hopefully out the way of some of this wind in this slack area. By the looks of it, certainly at the moment, I've got the entire lake to myself, so I'm going to get the gear unloaded. It's in the car. We'll see if we can get some fish out. Alright, it's just gone 8 o'clock. You can see the sun is finally sort of showing above the horizon there. It's actually quite pleasant down where I am. I've taken my coat off because I was getting a bit warm. You can see both the rods are out and I'm set up for the day. So I've got the right hand rod out towards the back there, pretty much where just in the turbulent water there, just where the split between the flat and the choppy water is. That one's gone out on a krill snowman, and the left hand rod is out towards the trees on the far bank there. Similar sort of distance, I say, just in the choppy water, and that's on a manila snowman, so we shall see how they go. I've already just had a little tug on the left hand rod, just a couple of beeps, but hopefully that shows that they're out there somewhere. We'll see if we can get some out. Alright, so it's just coming up to 9:30. So the rods have been out probably about an hour or so now. Just keeping an eye on the water, obviously, for any signs of movement or feeding. I'm not seeing a lot at the moment. I'm not seeing a lot at all, really. The odd ripple up on top now and then. I haven't seen any sort of flat spots or anything like that that would indicate any sort of particular areas of feeding, but I'll keep an eye out and see if anything shows at any point. But for now, I'll just Stuck the kettle on, and the coffee and coffee mate and whatever are all ready to go. So I'm going to get a coffee on the go and sit and watch the water, see if we can spot where they might be. If we do see anything, obviously we can cast to them, because obviously with these sort of temperatures at the moment and the water temperatures, they're not going to be moving around very much. So if we do see any signs of them, we really do have to go after them. So we'll see how we go, but I'll give it a little bit longer on the rods, and then might have a recast, try a different area if I don't get any indication from anywhere else. Right, so it's just gone 10:30. I've had a recast of both rods, sent them both out a bit longer than I had previously, and I've also changed the right hand rod for one of these pineapple and boot trick, whatever that is, pop-ups, and I've changed the rig over as well. So I've gone away from the IQD rig on that rod, and I've changed it for a spinner rig. So if there is any sort of debris on the bottom, hopefully that's just going to be sitting above that. And because these are obviously quite bright baits, or very bright baits, you might well get a carp just sort of coming down and having showing a bit of interest on it, because it's that strange item in the water to them. So we'll see if that brings any joy. We'll give it, probably till lunchtime, and if we haven't had anything by then, we'll change things up again, potentially try some different spots. But I've been watching the water throughout, and there's not really been much. Well, I haven't really seen anything at all. So at the moment, I'm just sticking with the spots that I've got, and unless something obvious changes starts showing itself, then I can mix things up later on. There's my little mate. Alright, it's just coming up to 12:30. Unfortunately, I have nothing to report other than a rod update. Basically, I had a bit of a liner on the left hand rod, so I've actually moved that one in a bit or quite a bit closer, probably only about 30 yards out, just to see if the fish are closer to me. I've left the right hand rod sort of out at distance, so I'm mixing it up a little bit, so I haven't got all my eggs in one basket, but I'm just not seeing anything really. very little activity going on, so I'm just kind of having to have a guess, hedge my bets a little bit, and try a couple of different things. We've got, let's say, until about 4:30, so I've got about another 4 hours yet, and I shall have a couple more recasts in that time if nothing positive happens, just to keep mixing things up. But as I said, for now it's just a case of cast them out there, leave them for an hour or so, see if anything takes them, and if not, try somewhere else. So that's the plan for the afternoon. Hopefully we can get something, but as I said, at the moment it is the middle of winter. They're not exactly going to be leaping out and showing me where they are, so I've just got to keep trying different things. Right, it's just coming up to 1:45. Still very little action, other than, say, the odd little beep here and there, the little liner I had on the left hand rod earlier. The temperature certainly feels like it's dropping. I'm certainly starting to feel it a bit more now, so I'm just getting ready for our 4th cup of coffee of the day. We'll hopefully get some interest shortly, but if not, the football's going to be going on. And we'll sit and watch that for a couple of hours whilst keeping an eye on the lake. Hopefully we'll get interrupted during that, because right now it's looking like it's going to be a very, very quiet session on this lake. But we'll get the coffee made, we'll drink that, and then maybe have another recast. I don't want to move about too much, but as I said, clearly where I am at the moment isn't getting a whole lot of interest, so we might give it one more location, one more try for the remainder of the session, and see if that can bring about some kind of change in our luck. Right, so it's just coming up to 3 o'clock. So I've just had a recast of both rods, final sort of throw of the dice. We'll just see what happens over the next hour or so. It's just been very quiet all day. There was a couple of other people who've been fishing on the lake as well. They've already packed up and gone again. They didn't have anything either, so we'll just see how that goes, and hopefully get something in the final hour and a half or so. But I think I've done everything I can for now. There's no fish showing, no evidence of any feeding going on anywhere, so there's not too much I can do now other than just put the bait put the rigs back out where I've been putting a bit of bait, and hope they come and find it. Right, it's just coming up to about 20 past 4, so we're very much last knock-ins now. You see, I've packed most of the bits away. I've just got the last few bits, the rods and landing net and what have you, still out, but probably give it another 5 or 10 minutes max, and then I'll be heading off. So unfortunately it looks like another fish-free session, but that's winter fishing. Unfortunately, it's clearly can be very hit and miss, so we'll call it a day from there. Thanks very much for watching again. We'll hopefully get some decent action for you next time.